Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Adora, and if you are just coming across this channel for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, so there is this pressing issue right now at the moment, which is a little bit very difficult for the person in question. The person in question in this story is a friend of mine, and I've known her way back from home, and she had a good job before she came into the country. But at a point, you know, with all the issues we are facing back home, the insecurity, there's so many stories anyway that we are going through back home, she decided to relocate to the United Kingdom. So she relocated to the United Kingdom recently, and she came in through the HCA visa route. That's the healthcare assistant visa route. Now, before she got in here, her employment contract actually states that she would be with this care home for a period of 5 years. And after 5 years, she can now move on if she wants to move on to some other companies, or she wants to go back to Nigeria, she can now move. Or if she wants to remain in the country and apply to renew her visa, she can. So these were the options in her employment letter, and she signed it. So on getting to the UK, she started her job with this very company, and it was okay. But after a while, she just said she didn't want to continue with the company again. And she met people who talked her into joining some other companies, and she decided to go and join some other agency, join another agency. So she went ahead. In fact, she started this process without remembering her contract agreement, number one, without contacting the company, the particular care home that brought her into the UK, and without contacting people who have been in the UK longer than her, who have an idea of how these things work. So when she joined this new agency, she didn't tell them that she actually came into the country with this other UK, you know, the healthcare assistant visa route. She didn't explain all of this to her. All they knew was that she had the leave to remain. She had some sort of right to work in the United Kingdom, and then she already had a little bit of work experience where she was working. And for some reason, you know, a lot of agencies are so much in need of carers at this point that they compete. They even entice you with money. This agency is telling you, oh, we'll pay you more than this, or your former agency. The other agency is telling you they will double the money. The other agency is saying they will triple the money and all that. So I don't know how this all happened, but I think at some point she got so carried away with the opportunities some of these agencies were actually offering her. And she went ahead, she did the interview, she got a few shifts from this new company, and she continued. And she still did not tell the old company that she has left, that she has moved on. She didn't tell them that she has joined a new agency, or that she's not working with the original agency anymore. She didn't just tell them all this, and we were waiting for her, because I asked her, what was your excuse or your reason for not going to work? That's the original company that brought into the UK, because you've not been to work now in about, I think she has not been to work in about 8 days. What was your reason? What did you tell them? And she said that actually she wasn't feeling fine, so she told them she was going to go, and she called off sick for a while. I said, yeah, but that's quite a long time now, and you know it now that you're working with another company. How are you going to be able to sort this whole thing out? So that was where she actually began to have fear. I told her, listen, you have to go back to your agreements, your employment agreement, and read it again, look it up again. Because though I don't know exactly how it works with agencies or companies recruiting from home over here, I don't know what's the whole contract thing. I don't know what it is that is binding the company and the employer I don't know all those clauses and all that in the agreement, but for you to have signed it, they expect that you should be able to read it. So she forwarded a copy of this contract agreement to me. And when I read it, I actually said to her, you're about to put yourself in problem. Because the contract agreement actually states that she, on no condition, has the right to work for any other company, except the one that brought her from home. And that if she has to move to another company, she has to pay a certain amount of money, like some sort of this compensation to the company, to kind of pay them back for the services they rendered, bringing you here and all that. So they gave these conditions. And she said that, oh, she didn't see that part. Oh, that part that states that you need to be able to pay some money if you need to move out on time. I said, that is the reason why you should be able to read everything through before you sign. So now, luckily for her, she was able to retrace her steps fast. She immediately cut off with the new agency and went back to work. Why am I saying this? A lot of people, I have noticed this, are on the verge of making these mistakes if they're not careful. Now, I have seen a lot of people who came in through these routes, and they're usually like, can I change? Is it possible for me to switch over to another job? Is it possible for me to join another company? Is it possible for me to, it's like they want to use the care assistant route as a stepping stone to get into the country. Then when they come in, they can now change into different things or different places. But it all depends on your contract agreement, because I believe that some agreements could be different from the others. Like this, my friend now, her own agreement has actually given all these clauses, has actually given all these conditions. There might be some agreements, some employment agreements that might not really carry all this. I don't know. There might be some contract agreements that might not impose the fine that you have to pay if you quit on time. There might be some companies that might still give you visas for less than 5 years. Like I heard someone say that her the agency that brought her actually gave her visa for 2.5 years. That is how long her own visa could last up to, after which she can renew. And that is if the company still intends to keep her in the country. So this is the reason why you should read. Don't just jump at the opportunity, or I'm going to UK to work as a carer or healthcare assistant and all that. Read your contract agreement. Read what they said, what they wrote. And if there's anything that is not clear to you, ask questions. You have the opportunity to ask the questions either during the interview or after that, anything that you are not clear with, so that you don't come into the country and you are lost. Some people just nod their head at everything they tell them just because they want to get away. And when you come in, some people are confused. It will even amaze you to know that not everybody even actually likes the job. I've seen people who come in and after a while of working, they're like, they didn't know that this is how it's going to be. They didn't expect the job to be like this or like that. And I actually asked one person, didn't you make your research on what the job is all about? At least you should be able to make your research. You should be able to ask questions of what it is you're expected to come and do. Didn't they train you? She said yes, they sent her some articles, they sent her some online courses that she did. And I was like, yeah, so that means you actually have a little knowledge of what it is to work in the healthcare sector. So that should be able to build your expectations on what to see when you get in here. So a lot of people just come in here and initially they are confused. They're like, oh my God, can I switch over to something else? Can I do this one? Can I do that one? This is the more reason why you should look into these very routes before you make your move. Read your contract agreements. Look at what it says. If there's anything that is not clear to you, ask questions before you make a move. So that's it. The lucky thing about this, my friend's issue right now, is that she was able to retrace her steps on time. She has not really given a long gap before she knew what she was about to fall into. So that is it for today. If there's anything that is not clear to you about your contract agreement, always read, because right here there is no ignorance in the law. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye.